Good afternoon. My name is Carson Clutie. This is my attempt to finish Module 1 of EDL 850. I ask that you bear with me if I cough or clear my throat during this. I'm feeling a little under the weather, and of course, there's nothing better than starting summer off with not feeling the best. As I said, please bear with me. To begin, I'd like to start with my personal demographics or some things about me. The first thing listed is the most important thing to me, and that is my family. My wife, Jessa, is an elementary teacher. She's one of the best teachers I know. She's great at integrating technology. She's great at building relationships and making meaningful lessons. I love bouncing ideas off her. It's always interesting to me to see what she comes up with. She also is beginning her master's program, and she did that this past spring. We have two kids together. Cooper is 2.5. He is not 2, and he's sure to tell you that. He is 2.5, and Carter will be 1 this upcoming week. So it takes a lot of time for us, and we wouldn't change that. The job I have, I'm kind of in between. I spent 5 years, the past 5 years, as a social studies teacher. It was my first job at Destra Public Schools in South Central Nebraska. It was a great opportunity for me right out of college, and they taught me a lot of things. I'm transitioning now to Hampton, Nebraska, where I will be the director of career pathways and trying to help kids figure out what they want to do after they get done with high school and hopefully placing them with mentors in fields that they're interested in. Some of the things that I'm interested in when I'm not doing my master's classes or school is I do enjoy hunting, I enjoy golf, and I enjoy keeping up with the latest technology, especially as it relates to education. Some of the critical reflection I have on my administrators, I feel that they have done a good job in the past. I can't speak to my future administrators, I haven't had them yet, but my ones in the past have done a good job at the beginning of the year of talking about some big reminders that we have. The biggest is what we say over email can become public. They use the example, and I've heard this example used of the teachers in the Houston school district who have, I believe it was something to the effect of erased copyright off some material and shared it without giving credit and paying for it. I believe it was related to science, and the school district got sued. And in the process, the emails that teacher sent back and forth with this copyrighted material became public, even though it was teacher to teacher, because it's related to the school district. It can become public. They also remind us that discussions about students need to be professional and with a purpose. And they're not to put students down, but they're always, they always need to be in the frame of bettering that student's education. So our administrators really only share information to those that need to know. So if a teacher teaches a student that has an IEP, that teacher obviously knows what that student's IEP is in and any accommodations we might make. But if a teacher doesn't have that student, they're not privy to that information. Also, this goes the same for students that are suspended out of school. Only those teachers that teach that student are informed. The school board policies, we are also at the beginning of each year required to share the district's policy on plagiarism. I believe this promotes a healthy use of technology and really sets up students to be successful in college when they're on their own, when they don't necessarily have someone looking over their shoulder, making sure they do things right. And we are reminded at all times throughout the year that we are supposed to teach all students, not just the ones that are easy, not the ones that are convenient. But as it gets in the dark and dreary days of January and February, and the school year kind of just seems to be dragging on, our administrators do a good job, I think, of reminding us that it's important that we teach all students. My personal knowledge of education, I'll be quite honest, I believe it is limited and probably dated. I only had to take one special ed class in college. Of course, we learned about the legality of IEPs and dealing with the privacy of students, but that was 6 years ago. And I feel that with anything over that period of time, my knowledge would have slipped in this area. Each year, the State Patrol does come in and talk to our students about digital citizenship and digital laws and the basics of creating a good online profile. So I'm up to laws with some in some areas of privacy and citizenship. I'm also familiar with the handbook policies that our school has, and I do assume that all of these district policies follow state and federal law. I have not checked that for myself, but I would imagine that they fall in line with that. The personal plan I have is, first of all, continuing education, taking classes like this. My hope through this and looking through the modules, I believe that will be the case, is to get up to date on the laws regarding different issues in education. I would like to also get either another master's or maybe even a specialist degree, and I'll believe that'll take more law classes then, and that will help me the same as this one will. There are different presentations and workshops that I attend that have sessions on current issues. NETA, the Nebraska Educational Technology Association, has things usually for administrators, but I believe teachers can go too, and it's on issues regarding technology and laws and privacy and things like that. And the last thing I want to do in my personal plan is encourage my administrators to bring in lawyers. I follow a couple on Twitter, but bring in these lawyers that specialize in educational law, not necessarily to scare us, but just to make us aware of all the things that we're required to do and all the things that may happen. Again, not necessarily to scare us, but just to keep us on our toes a little bit where we don't get too comfortable, especially when it comes to sharing students' information, which they entrust to us. Anyway, I'm looking forward to this class and looking forward to have many meaningful conversations with all of you. Thanks.